So I just wanted to try and create a all missions tutorial. That way people didn't have to just learn by watching a run, as I find that a little hard for some. So hopefully this is, good. Alright, the first thing I'll talk about is, rules a little bit. We allow both PSP and emulator because it's just really hard to actually get a good recording setup and a proper recording setup for the PSP. And as well, people that don't have a PSP being forced to buy one isn't, that's not really fair. Plus, the PSP emulator is one of the most accurate, so there's really no issue with using it. Right, so for all missions, we have to complete the main objective of every mission. Right, that means, so for example, the hotel has the main objective is to get 25 skull gems, so we have to do that, otherwise it won't count as us completing the hotel. What you're gonna see is a lot of camera turning and jumping as movement, because that's actually faster. As we start, we're gonna go into Osmo's shop here and talk to Osmo. This is gonna give us the hotel mission. Then, instead of going to do the hotel mission, we're gonna come to this box right here. And we're gonna do something called box clip, where we walk like this into this corner with Daxter, and then jump and turn to grab this ledge. And if you do it right, if you do it wrong, you'll get pushed out like that. But if you do it right, you should fall out of bounds on a ledge right here. I do it with a single hop. Some other people do it with a double jump, like this. Personally, I think it's, you just get a feel for it with whichever way you do it, and I don't know why I'm sort of struggling with it today. But eventually, that will happen. From here, you can press L and R to put the camera straight forward, or if that doesn't work, you can press up to go into first person and then turn the camera to look this way. What you're going to want to do is jump around the corner right after that box, kind of where that gray beam is. I don't know kind of what else to call it, but right there, you want to jump around that and land on the wooden planks that extend out the other side of the wall. And so that's going to look something like this. Right, and you should land right here on these wooden planks. Now, you're not going to really see them unless you have your camera at a certain angle, and we'll be jumping, and then once we reach here, all you're going to do is a single hop forward and then swing, and now you're into Breezy Valley. Right, so now that we're at Breezy Valley, I'm going to place a save state, and we're gonna, what we do here is we spray plants and then kill a queen bug by hitting her 3 times. Since we haven't gotten the spray yet, we're not going to be able to see our spray meter, and so we need to be very conservative with our spray and try to use as little as possible so we don't have to go out of our way to get refills. you'll just want to follow the route that I go. It's the most optimal. And also make sure, since I forgot to mention, you need to pick up at least one precursor orb here. It doesn't matter where, there's not really a fastest one to get if you follow the route that I'm doing, but you need it to be able to do the Matrix minigame, which is a required mission. Now, as you see, I'm tapping as I go over these plants. I'm not holding down R. This is because tapping uses less spray and means I don't have to go out of my way to get more refills. When we come to this one down here, you're going to want to let go of X, spray, and then re-hold X. Alright, so you're just, same thing, you're just going to follow the way I kill these bugs right here. Skipping the little cutscene there is faster. Alright, I'm going to place another save state here. So this is the queen. And what you're going to do is you're going to immediately hold left and X. Then you're going to hop up here. And what we're going to try and do is get a quick hit. Oh, I failed. Let's see if I can get it to show it off. But this will allow us to get 3 hits on her very quick and kill her sort of faster than you would casually. Yeah, I haven't practiced this in a bit, so it might take me a couple tries. Oh. But essentially what should happen is you'll wind up, she'll turn around and you'll wind up under her, and the game will count you as hitting her. Like that. And then you're going to come and cut across the plant, go up this hill, and then fall off right there, and you'll get another hit, then turn, jump up here, and come around, and there's your final hit. Now, after the game says mission complete, right there, we're going to save the game, and then load the game. Then we're going to back into the portal. That's faster than driving back to the portal. Alright, now we're going to do the Matrix minigame. This is really, really simple. You know, just do what you do casually. You can actually hit the buttons a little bit before they glow, before it says you can touch them or press them, and that can save a couple frames. So I don't really think it's worth it unless you're going for like world record. But like that, see? The square button wasn't glowing green and he wasn't on it yet, but it still let me hit him. Ah, see? That's what happens when you screw it up. And you don't want to do that because we skip a bunch at the end. I can still do it since I've taken 1 hit, but if I take 2, I have to beat a couple more before I can skip a bunch. But once you reach around 7 left, you're just gonna spam X. Normally you'll survive with 2 health, but because I got hit once, I only survived with 1. So now, we're gonna come and actually go do the first mission in the game. Hotel. We technically did the 3rd mission first, because normally the mission order goes hotel, construction site, then Breezy Valley. And this speeds up things because once we get to when we're supposed to do Breezy Valley, it actually puts us in the 2nd one. Come over here, right? So anyways, once you leave the shop, you're gonna hop on the scooter and come over here. You're gonna want to jump off the scooter right before you hit the cutscene, so that it's right here, closest, you know, as close as possible, because that's the fastest. Then you're gonna come and grab the precursor orb, jump off the scooter over there, and what you kind of want to try and do, I didn't get a very good one, is as you're going around and coming this way, you want to jump and hop like that over here, because that's going to launch the scooter super far, and so then we can, right after jumping off of this, just jump right on the scooter and drive over here. And that's much faster than walking or jumping with Daxter. Alright, hotel is pretty much done casually. We're going to be using our fast jumps and corner cutting to corner cutting, sorry, to do it faster. There's also there's 2 skips actually that save some time. Also, I just realized that it doesn't look like I'm capturing a game sound. So, I am very sorry about that. Let me fix that. Okay, hopefully that fixed it. So you're gonna come jump and cut across there, because that's gonna skip a little cutscene where the concierge says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to feed the plants," or something like that, which saves time. Then we're gonna come and jump over here and come along this railing to skip climbing up there. From here, we're gonna kill these 2, and we want to try and get them like that, because that kills them both at the same time, and that's the fastest way to do it. Then we're gonna jump across these lily pads, and we want to do the same thing here. Didn't get it, but still, I got the combo, which allowed me to kill the other one with 1 hit. There we go. So sometimes the game will do this thing where, yeah, the skull gem just kinda goes somewhere and you have to wait for it. It's a little bit of time loss, but nothing you can really do about it. So here's gonna be the first skip that saves time. It really only saves time if you get it the first try. After that, it would really just be faster to go around, or to have gone around. But that's it, and that's to explain it right. Basically, as Daxter walks off the rock there, he gets pushed forward by the slope. At least that's kind of how I see it happening. And as he's doing that, we're jumping, and so that's carrying the momentum forward and allows us to reach the ledge. Hopefully you can see it well on the input display. But yeah, don't get that one, it's actually slower. We're gonna come down in here. Turning the camera here makes this slide go faster. Once we get out, if you were to move the analog stick, Daxter's locked into place, so you want the analog stick to be neutral for a sec, and then you can start jumping forward. On this, there's a certain kind of slope that you can walk up on it, and it will push you up faster. So you kind of want to try and find that. So you want to try and aggro this guy and this guy so that you can kill them both at the same time. Like that. And now we're gonna do what we call a vent clip under this little crawl area. So normally, as it's telling us right now, you're supposed to press triangle to crawl through tight spaces, but we don't want to do that because we want to do it fast, so we can actually jump and squeeze through like that. Basically what we're doing is when Daxter jumps, his model squishes down a little, and it makes him able to squeeze under the door. And that allows us to walk through instead of crawl through, which is much faster because then we don't have to uncrawl. We do our next vent clip directly after with the bed, and we just fall right into the vent pretty much. If you happen to miss this vent clip from the bed, you can just do it like this and just jump right in front of it and go right in. We're gonna do another vent clip here to get out, and then we're gonna jump from this ledge to the table. Alright, so I kinda failed, but we're gonna do an extended jump from there to the table. And in order to do an extended jump, you want to jump, land on a ledge, and then jump again. So like that. I almost got it, I just double jumped instead of doing a single one. I might not be able to show it off, but the idea is it gives you the same thing that we did with the other one before the slide, is it gives you kind of a slope surface, or it pushes you forward basically like a slope would, and carries the momentum while you jump, and so it allows you to just land on the table instead of on the floor and having to jump up. I'll see if I can't get it to show it off, or if I can get it, that way I can show it off. But if I can't, I'll end up just moving on. There we go, like that, see? So then we jump across the table, come into this room. I hug this wall, spin, or try to double jump, spin, and not get hit by those guys. Then we're gonna kill the 3 guys that come out of here, and then the 4 that come out of here. You want to try and hit them as they're coming out, because that will allow you to insta-kill them. Swat these guys, double jump, spin, and then walk through, or jump through. That will stop you, that specific set of movement will stop you from getting stunned by the ticks, and possibly even killed, sending you back to a checkpoint and having to collect gems again. We're gonna vent clip here, and we can't vent clip out. So this is where a newer skip is. Normally we can go through there, and there's actually a way to get a little boost to skip the thing of the little cutscene of Daxter talking. However, it was recently found that we can actually grab the ledge here and skip a big portion of the slide, and this saves around 15 seconds. I didn't jump forward enough. That what you're gonna do when you get the clip is you're gonna jump forward and then hold left. Well, you're gonna land on the floor here and then jump forward and left and then hold left. So you'll be right here, and you'll jump forward and left, and then hold left. And you'll fall like this, and then hit the slide. And then you slide down like normal. I like to press L and R to rotate the camera with the slide, as I really feel like that makes going down the slide faster. Then you're gonna jump right before you exit so that you can get pretty much have the momentum carry you all the way to the elevator here. And then we're gonna go complete the level after the elevator by talking to the concierge. And then we're done. Next level is construction site. Yeah, I guess I should mention that cutscene where we went over to the bar before going over to the hotel gives us the hover for our spray that we're going to get in construction site. However, since we don't have the spray yet, we can't use the hover attachment. However, once we get it, we're going to be using it to do some skips. Well, not just some skips. Do quite a few skips. Alright, you want to jump, grab this zip line, and then at the end here, you see that barrel, the drum. You're going to want to fling yourself onto that metal drum by holding left on the analog stick or flicking left on the analog stick and pressing X. And you should end up landing on it. I didn't. But then you're going to come along this wall here, jump up here, and that skips going all around to get up here. Next, we're going to jump around these crates and grab this ledge, and that skips as well a bunch, all this platforming. See if I can't get it. Yeah, all this platforming right here and climbing, it skips us doing all of that. We're going to do another vent clip here. And now we have our spray. So for construction site, the main objective is to clear all 4 of these little areas right here. Once we're up, we can actually just jump and hover. And that's one of the reasons that we got the hover early. Be careful with the ticks there, because they can actually get themselves stuck in walls, and it will look like nothing, you know, there's nothing left to kill, but they are actually sitting there in a wall. So just sometimes try swinging in the walls on those tick platforms if you don't hear the crane coming down to get you, because that's probably what ends up happening. Right, once she raises you up, you're going to jump across to where those boxes are and hover to skip a bunch of crawling on those pipes. Then it is faster technically to hover across these pipes than crawl, but we need to save some hover for later in the level to skip a little bit more platforming. For here, I come right here and grab the checkpoint, then I jump on top of this and have it push me off so I can double jump, spin, and hit the trampoline. I land where these precursor orbs are on this stack of crates. Sorry about that, my controller disconnected. Alright, it looks like, give me a sec, I am going to need to plug my controller in. Okay, I'm back. So, as I was saying, you're going to want to come and jump from here onto here, then onto these crates, and then you'll do another double jump spin to get over here. Don't let that guy kill you or hit you off. And then you're gonna come on this zip line. Then swing yourself over to here a little bit faster. And the reason that we needed to save a little bit of our spray is because we're gonna jump from here and do this. And basically what's happening is we're jumping on the highest point of that slope there, and due to how slopes work and they push Daxter forward, we double jump and get pushed forward, and then we keep that into our hover so we can get further in and actually grab the zip line, which allows us to grab the zip line much faster and get out much faster than doing the climbing and going around. So now we're going to do Breezy Valley 2. Alright, normally this is where we would do Breezy Valley 1, but because we already did that and the game has to put us into a Breezy Valley level, it puts us into the second Breezy Valley mission. Here, you're just going to follow the same route that I went with the first one. You will get to see your spray meter here, so it's not as super important to, conserve your spray. But, still tapping it's the best. Okay, so now this part, 3 queens are going to spawn in, and we want to kill all of them at once. They all only take 1 hit this time, unlike where the first one we killed, we had to hit 3 times. And it's kind of hard to explain how to do this, so it's better to just show it. Oh, I didn't get it. But basically, you're going to want to kind of drive over here, and then slow down for a second. And then drive to where those rocks are. Like that. And during this cutscene, they should fly over you, and the game should count them as getting hit. I only got 2 there. That third one got away. That's okay too, because normally you can just come and get the third one like this. Well, normally, but yeah, you want to try and get all 3. And so then it will look something like that. And it's really hard to kind of explain how, I do that movement. It puts us, I guess I could try and show. So it puts us right here. And what I do is I kind of drive towards the queen, I guess, and then towards these rocks right here. And if I did it right, I should end up hitting the queen and killing all 3 of them. hitting that first queen that spawns over here, and then killing the other two as they pass over me. Now, once the game says mission complete, we're going to save and load again, because that's much faster than driving all the way back. And we're going to come out here. Hover over the table so we don't talk to Osmo. And then we're going to come and chase this zoomer. And just follow the way I go. There's really not much more that can be said about sections like this. Just kind of copy what I do. Try your best as well to not die, otherwise you'll have to restart the chase. Alright, now we're on to Tanker 1. Tanker 1, we have to kill and collect 30 skull gems. Or kill 30 metal heads, collect 30 skull gems. And we have a skip here. Pretty much right at the beginning of the level, actually. Alright, so we're almost to the skip now. Like I said, it's very close to the beginning of the level. You're gonna want as much spray as possible, a lot of spray, so make sure that you're full up on it. You should have 16 skull gems before leaving this little area right here. You want to try your best not to die like that, because now I have to do this all over. This doesn't have really... It doesn't save your progress good, or have good checkpoints and levels, so a big thing is trying not to die. Because you can lose a lot of time just by dying in this game. I don't want to say that, you know, as discouraging or anything. Just... it's something to keep in mind. So I ended up getting 17, but that just means that's one less that I have to kill. So that's always good. You're gonna kill these two. And then the skip is right here. So you're gonna jump on this platform, and then we're gonna use it to launch ourselves. And that will look something like this. Now once you're launched, you're gonna wanna hold up left and hover as far forward as in that direction as possible into the wall, out of bounds. Then you're gonna hover. Once you see those pillars there, you're gonna want to hover a little upright towards that middle one. I let go of hover, so when I paused, so I, fell, but what should happen is you'll fall into a little area under the deck of the tanker. But yeah, you land right here. Now you want to be careful because we've just skipped a lot, or a decent portion of the level, and we don't get any checkpoints. So if we die, we go all the way back up to where we just were. You're gonna come and kill these ones that I'm killing and collect their gems. And now as soon as we get to right here, we've just got a checkpoint, so it's okay if we die. Now you don't have to worry much. Just continue to kill the ones that I'm killing and collect their gems. So I got 2 extra. Generally this guy is your last one. Gonna want to wait for this platform. Trying to hover to it, you might end up falling in the dark eco. Now you can hover across. And then we just have one last part to this level to consider the mission complete, and that's the mini game with Tick at the end. And this is just done casually. There's unfortunately no faster way to get through these minigames. And even if we could skip them, the rules say that we have to complete these minigames, so... And now we are at port. We're gonna get the cutscene, and that will give us our flamethrower attachment. And we're gonna use that right away in distillery, right here. So once we enter this room, we're gonna stand and position ourselves right here, then save and load the game. And this will launch us like that, and we just need to hover like that. And that allows us to skip the waiting for the elevator and a bunch of other stuff. So here we're gonna kill all the metal hoods with our flamethrower attachment. So we want to try and preserve or conserve as much of our spray as possible. Make sure that we don't use too much, and make sure that you don't die. At this section, we're going to be doing a little skip. Be careful to not die when doing this next section, because sometimes the game will take some of those skull gems from those guys, the guys I just killed, away from you. And there's nothing you can do about it because they don't respawn. So alright, so the skip, what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump from this all the way, this hanging crate, all the way to the other side of that, of this gap. And that may seem like an impossible jump, but what we're gonna do is use a little camera manipulation. And so we're gonna press R, at least with how I have my camera. Let's see, what are my camera settings? That way I can. So my camera is normal, so if your camera is inverted, you'll press L. But since my camera is set to normal, I'm gonna press R when I do this. And then as you get to the end of this ledge, of this crate, you're gonna double jump and hover and hold R. And if you do it right, you'll end up either ledge grabbing or just landing on the platform there. Like that. Then we come, hit this switch, and then we're gonna jump off early and hover a little bit. Kill these guys with as little spray as possible. And then, because of what we did, we'll be able to jump up and grab the one that we jumped off of and don't have to wait for another one. We wanted to save spray because we have to kill all of these guys with our spray. If we're lucky, they'll give us some spray, like I got there. And then we're gonna come out here, and you want to double jump, hover onto all of these platforms. these guys will charge at you, and you just want to spray them like that. We're not going to kill any of the guys in here. Just kind of walk along this little corner right here, this sloped corner, and it'll push us really fast. Kill these 3 guys. We're not going to kill this one either. We are going to kill this guy though. Then we're going to kill these 2. And our last 2 are on this ledge. Once we get to this ledge, we're going to run off, double jump, and hover. And that will allow us to grab the ledge, that ledge, and skip some platforming and having to deal with those scorpions. And then we've completed Distillery. The next mission we're gonna do is Cannery. And Cannery is pretty much done casually. You really don't want to die here because it just has some bad checkpoints that, yeah, they just aren't. They aren't nice, is the best way to put it. So you want to try your best to take as little damage as possible and not die at all. Sometimes the game will glitch and it will, when you're crawling under those spikes, it will either kill you or do damage to you, so that's why. For this one, you want to switch to the green spray, normal bug spray, then go back to your flamethrower. We're going to use our flamethrower to kill all the bugs from now on, basically. Because it instantly kills them, whereas we have to do a combo with our swatter to kill them. You may be wondering then why we aren't using it on these worm guys, and it's because they don't get killed instantly. Almost died there. One of the reasons you don't want to die is because if all these ice blocks that we're melting with the flamethrower, if we die, the game kind of resets that. So it basically says we didn't melt them, and so we'll have to remelt all of them again, and that's where most of the time loss comes from. We're gonna do a vent clip with this vent. Kill all of these guys. And you want to make sure that you have 20. Because if you don't, that means you missed one somewhere, and you'll need to try and find an extra to make up for it. Okay, so now you can either go the normal way, which, you know, I recommend when starting out, but you can also jump across to this platform from the very first platform. And that saves a good bit of time, because it means you skip having to jump across to that platform and then from that platform to this platform that I'm on. Then you can do it the same way to get back as well. Of course, if you end up failing it like I did there, it'll put you back. This is why you don't want to die, because look, it put me back. So now I have to collect all those guys all over again. And that's why I don't recommend doing the jump starting out, because if you die like that, it loses a good bit of time. Looks like I may not be able to get it. Right. So, since I've failed it a couple times, I'm gonna come and put down a save state before doing it again. There, see? Just like that. And our last 5 skull gems should be right here if you didn't miss it. Glad I put down that save state. Yeah, the lurker sharks will ruin your day. And this is what I mean by having to remelt the ice blocks. You'll see it since I died trying to do that a couple times. Do that jump a couple times.
Looks like it's gonna be fast and furious, oh Sultan of Fuzz. Let's cruise!
So now we're gonna go do Emerald Isle 1. And this is a, the bug that we fight here is on rails, is the best way to describe it. It has a set path and it will never travel off that path. And so you really just gotta follow the path that I follow while throwing bombs at it. You'll see that I kind of turn to the left and then fling right. And that's because Simon throws the bombs the way that, you know, you're going on the analog stick. And so I can kind of launch them and hit the bug by going to the left and then the right. Generally, you want to try and finish the bug off in that cave, but doing it before you leave this area is also good.
Looks like something mucho not bueno going on there.
Now, Simon just told us to go to the construction site, but we're not going to do that mission yet. Instead, we're gonna go do a mission that we started a bit earlier, but was impossible for us to do until now. Or I guess wasn't impossible, we just couldn't do it until now because of how we did the missions. And so we're gonna do brewery, or the bar. We're gonna do the bar, which was a mission that we started at the beginning. That was the cutscene where we got the hover nozzle, or the hover nozzle. I'm like in Mario Sunshine now. But yeah, the hover attachment. So we're going to come right here to this wooden plank when the door opens, and then we're going to hover up and left, and that will put us out of bounds. Alright, you'll land right here, and then you're going to walk forward, right, and then hover forward. And that will put you right here at the minigame that we need to beat. And then you just play the minigame. And then the bar mission is complete. That's all we needed to do.
Good work, my orange friend. Back in business.
Well, we need to talk to her, too. But other than that, the mission is complete. Now we're gonna go and do transit station. And so the mission for transit station is just to get through transit station. We don't have to kill anything. It's pretty much just explore the transit station. Now you'll see me doing vent clips at areas. They're all the same as when I showed it the first time. Some of them are just harder than others, so they're nothing new, basically. You don't actually have to hover over a lot of these that it gives you the spray to hover over. Because of how fast the train is moving, you can actually just double jump and you'll get over it just fine without having to use any spray. Right, so come over here and grab this checkpoint, switch to your normal bug spray, and then jump and hover back here. Then switch to the flamethrower, jump and hover again, and you just, that's a skip. You can vent clip right here, just like that. You don't need to collect precursor orbs other than the one at the very beginning to access the Matrix mission, but no, I just end up doing it anyways. It doesn't lose time on certain areas like the zip lines, so go to the right here. That'll let you go through and not take damage. Same thing with this one. On this one, go to the left. And this little chase sequence where you're being chased by the train is the end of transit station. Alright, so next we're gonna do our first Hive Queen fight. And this fight's really simple. This is the first part. She's just gonna spit out some metal heads. We're gonna kill them with our flamethrower. After 3 hits, she's gonna pop out of the ground. Now, what you want to do is she has 2 attacks at this first part. She can either slam down and spit a dark eco blast at you, or she can try and hit you with one of her claws. What you want to do is you want to stay far enough away that she'll shoot the dark eco blast at you. Like that. Spray her face, then jump around her, hit her, and then jump so that that happens again. Okay, so now she's gonna do a jumping attack 3 times, and that is the only attack that she will use. And now she can use a mixture of 3. So it looks like she's going to continue using the jump one. And then the Queen, Hive Queen 1 is beaten. You're going to need to walk into the elevator to get it to come down. Then wait till it stops making noise before you get on it, otherwise it won't go back up.
What took you so long, Daxter? You didn't wreck the transit authority zoomer, did you? Oh, well, never mind. We've been given access to the power station. Head up there.
Alright, so now we're going to go do construction site 2. I just autopiloted to CS1 door, despite what the minimap was telling me to do. Now, you're going to want to hover over this door right here. Right, and then you want to make sure the music starts to play. Because the visuals for the level may be loaded, but if the music doesn't start to play, the collision for everything here isn't actually there. So from here, we're going to do a proxy. We're going to walk off this ledge and then press triangle to crawl at the same time. And what will end up happening is we will fall off the ledge and onto the trampoline like this, well, in a crawl state. If we press X now, the trampoline will launch us high up into the air. And after that, we're going to hover forward with our flamethrower twice. Then go up a little bit. Oh, darn. So what happened there is that I didn't let Daxter go high enough up before doing my hover. So I'm gonna get back there and put a save state. And we're gonna try it again. So there, at the highest point, now you're gonna start hovering and hold forward. You're gonna hover twice, then you'll hover up to the right. and you should end up falling right down the elevator shaft like that. Hopefully the input display is showing, it good enough. We can do another vent clip like that right there. That one's one of the harder vent clips. And it's taken me a lot of practice to get it down like I have. And the mission for this place is just to destroy these termite mounds with the flamethrower. Right. So from here, we're going to jump right here. And then we're going to press triangle to crawl again, and that will push us right off. And then we're going to do a small proxy over to the right. As simple as just holding right and then going forward. And that'll take us right to the end of the level. So now, due to the order that we've done the missions, we're going to be doing every mission in Power Station back to back. We'll start with doing Strip Mine 1 first, then do Strip Mine 2, and finally complete Lumber Mill. So these conveyor belts will give you a boost of speed, and you can actually carry them through your double jump and hover a bit. As you can see how fast that just sent me forward. So you really want to try and get those boosts of speed from these conveyor belts when you can. And we need to collect all 8 dark eco crystals here. I just recommend once more following the path that I go, as it seems to be the fastest path. So for here, if you're a little impatient like I am, well, I mean that's what happens. That's, what happens to impatient people. But if you're a little impatient, you can use the green spray to double jump and hover right into there. Jump on the side of that to get back in here. And then same thing, green spray, hover right through. Switch back to the flamethrower. And then we got these guys on a good cycle. Be careful, because sometimes, granted, maybe this only happens on my PSP, because I play on physical hardware and not emulator. I'm using emulator for the ease of making this tutorial. But that little area there can sometimes slow down when spinning, and so you might end up jumping or walking off one too soon and falling into the dark eco if you don't notice. From here we're going to grab this ledge, drop back, and then hover. We're going to hover over to here, let go, hold forward, and then hover again. Alright, if you did it right, you should ledge grab or land on that platform, this platform right here. I unfortunately don't have the spray to try it again. But it is shown off in speedruns, so you can watch it done in a run to see it. I could also see, maybe this will work. No, the game won't let me. Okay. So we're gonna hover over here, and then double jump, hover up here. Grab this dark eco crystal, and then we can double jump to get extra height and get on these other platforms before that one comes up. This one has to go fully up before that door will open. It will not open if the platform is not fully raised. So here, you see, it did just slow down. Jump around from that over onto here. And then our last dark eco crystal is going to be right here above the beginning of the level, so we can just walk down, hit the cutscene, and go right into Strip Mine 2. So right now we're being told that we need to do Breezy Valley 2, but because we already did it, there's no need to listen to Taryn tell us. And now that we have the Sonic Bomb grenade, or the Sonic Bomb upgrade, we're going to be using that to blow up these rock walls. And then we'll be using our flamethrower to kill metalheads and destroy the hives. And you're pretty much just gonna, follow the way I do it. I mean, there's not much to explain here. All missions is really a super fast, casual playthrough with some skips. So, use your Sonic Grenade to destroy the tiny hives, or the small hives, and then destroy the big hive with the flamethrower. Make sure that after this room, you have 16 hives left. If you have more, you missed one. So make sure. You should have 2 left after this room. spray conservation here isn't as much because, or isn't needed as much because they give you so much spray in every room. But it's always a good thing to practice so that you don't have to go out of your way to pick up spray. From here, you're gonna double jump down and land on these. Hover and land on these, and then come right to this elevator. Then the last hive that we destroy is going to be right there, and strip mine 2 is now complete. Now we're going to talk to the miner and go fight Hive Queen 2. The first part of this fight as well is going to be the same as the first Hive Queen. What? Oh. Right, needed the last hit. So, here you're gonna shoot her with a grenade and then hit her. Trying to hit her 6 to 7 times. Because if you hit her 6 to 7 times, every time, you can 3-cycle her. Like that. And there's really not much to explain with the fight, because the main source of damage is our sonic grenade. Here, we're going to use the flamethrower to hover across. You can go to that vine right there by doing some platforming. I'll show it off. I think. Maybe I won't. It's been a while since I've done this casually. Okay. Okay, I see it now. So you come like this, if you want to do it casually, because you can't make that jump, and you fly around like this to get to the zip line. But if you don't want to do that, you can just jump across and hover using the camera to help push you. Like that. And that's always, both of those options you can do. Whichever you feel more comfortable with, obviously, is what you should do. After killing that first one, we're going to jump over here, then double jump and hover up here. First person mode to not aggro those metalheads to you. I killed this guy just because I don't take chances with him. Then after killing this guy right here, instead of taking the zip line back, we're gonna jump in the water. It'll take us back to this checkpoint and save us killing him. From there, grab the spray and walk around and jump to that lily pad. This skips a bit of platforming with those logs and stuff. Let's see, can I make it? Yeah. Made it on the cycle. Now once more, try and keep the metalheads off screen, out of your camera, so they don't aggro to you. Alright, that one died. Come land on these spikes. Or the saw blades, not spikes. And that will bring you back here to the checkpoint while having saved you beating that one guy. From here, jump and hover over to this lily pad. Then from this lily pad, jump and hover over here. Then come over and grab this checkpoint right here. One thing I should mention is that the guys have to kind of be in your camera and die for the game to say that they died. Alright, now that they both died, we're going to save and load. This is why we got that checkpoint, because it's actually faster to save and load to this checkpoint than walk back. This guy can't actually charge at you for some reason. He gets stuck on it gets stuck on a weird piece of collision. And now you can go through the log chute to leave the level, which takes longer, a lot longer. Or you can leave the level the way that we got and entered the level, basically. So you can come here, where we first originally hovered to, or we take the zip line to, and grab this checkpoint. That's just for safety reasons, in case what happens there happens. That way you spawn back here. And you want to double jump like that and use the camera and just hover right on over. And now power station is done. We're going to go back to Emerald Isle, but there's going to be a little problem this time. So the store that we're supposed to use, because of how we've done the missions, isn't going to open. And that's a bit of a problem. And so what we have to do instead is we need to perform a scooter proxy by pressing X in a square and then driving into this corner. And the scooter will bounce up like that. And then you want to jump off and hover over the wall. The flamethrower spray, the flamethrower is better than the normal bug spray that I just used, because you get a little extra height with the flamethrower. But it can be done with both, and it's super duper easy. So this is going to be a on-rails mission. And we are going to be on the turret. And we need to shoot at this guy. And we need to kill him without making sure that that green bar over there doesn't go full, because that is our overheat meter. And if we overheat the gun, we can't fire anymore, and that's really dangerous. And make sure, you don't die, because you can die at the end there too. As you saw, I was taking damage, and if you die there, you'll have to start all over. Alright, now, instead of driving all the way back because of where it placed us, we're going to come and drive off the edge right here. And that's just going to put us right back here at the door. And now we're going to go to Tanker 2. Tanker 2 has 2 skips. And one of them is kind of iffy. But the other, it can't really screw up the game that much. Well, I haven't noticed it screw up the game at all, so... But the first one is right here at the beginning. What we're going to do is we're going to double jump, hover, and land on that pipe, then jump off that pipe and hover out of bounds, or get out of bounds. And do that, and then we'll be pushed out of bounds. Now, from here, you can put your camera to look better, but from here we're going to walk off this little area right here, and go forward and right, and land under the dark eco. Like this. Inside these boxes. Then you're going to go forward till you hit a wall, and then go right. And then once you fall, right there, you're going to hold forward and hover. And you should land right in here. The next skip is, it's a smaller skip, and it's iffy because you can get this timer stuck. And that's not good, because it seems to me the timer gets stuck because the game thinks that you didn't actually complete the mission. And I believe that if that's the case, that it could make a run invalid. But that's speculation. I have no play in that. So, what we're going to do now, I'm going to put a save state here actually, is we're going to jump onto this platform, then double jump and hover into this wall. And if we do it right, we'll land in here. Now, you do not want to fall, hover from the out of bounds over the wall, and just fall directly into here. I believe that is what causes the glitch where the timer gets stuck. And so now we've completed the level, and we're on to Palace. Palace also has a couple skips. So mostly just kind of follow what I do. You can hover over both of these if you manipulate your camera. Hover over the spikes. The spikes are instant kills. So you're going to jump up onto this table here, then jump and hover up onto this bookcase, then double jump and hover through this wall and back behind this bookcase, and you'll wind up in here. And that skips, we were just in that room behind those lasers. That skips us having to do all the stuff required to get here, pretty much. Next, so there's two ways to go about this. I go and hover here, right, and get a clip. So this is going to be similar to box clip, And basically you're just gonna fall out like that. Some runners don't do that, and instead they opt to just come around and do it all normally. Yeah, I believe some people just do. Oh, okay, no, they go the other way that I went back through the spinny stuff. That's what some people do. However, I personally do the hover, as I feel that hover clip is way faster than going all around and through that. Especially if you accidentally die going through there. Whereas with this hover, there's really no chance of dying. It all just depends on how fast you can get the clip, on whether or not it would be faster for you. And now we're getting close to being done with Palace. So we're gonna come and double jump around this corner, and then press L to move the camera, and we're gonna hover so that we can skip a bunch of parkour and platforming sections. And then once more we're gonna skip a bunch of platforming sections by jumping up on there and hovering up on top of these boxes. Then we can hover over on top of these, that box will drop, we can skip the cutscene and fall right down. Then you're gonna come and jump up on this box, and then just hover, like that. Now we're in prison. This is the final level before the final boss. And it's kind of an auto-scroller level. You have to wait for guards. Wait for this guard, depending on where he is. Otherwise, he might kill you. grab this key card. And then use it to open this door. Then vent clip under the bed and through into the vent, and then crawl the rest of the way. So here, I'll create a save state for this. Here, we're going to double jump before the platform gets to the top, hover, and then we want to grab this ledge. And what this is going to do is this is going to store Daxter's height. So that the next time we do a double jump, and when, as you saw, I slid down there, you don't want to slide down, otherwise the game will consider Daxter grounded. And you want to keep this jump height so that you can come and fly up there, up here. You can, as you saw, almost get up here. I think maybe if you went back the other way, you might be able to. No. Then you're gonna jump in here and walk to the left. And you know, it's just another vent clip. You're gonna wait for this guard though. Once he's moved over there, you can come out. We're gonna vent clip under this bed and into this vent right here. And then we can walk through this entire vent. Vent clip in here, if you can. And then we're going on to the final part of prison. So, we can do this next part two ways. I'll show both. Right, the first is we can clip out of bounds right here with this wall and ledge. And then we'll do some fancy hovering and jumps and seam walking to get over behind these walls and into this room. You can also get into this room by coming and basically avoiding these guards right here. And then this right here will just take you to the same room. You can do both, whichever you feel more comfortable with. The out of bounds method is faster though. we're going to use these spinning platforms to launch ourselves. And I didn't make it, but you want to try, if you can, to launch yourself to that end platform. There, like that. Here, we're going to do the final minigame, and then it's on to the final boss. Now we're on to the final boss. So the first part of the final boss, he's going to throw stuff at us. And we just need to dodge it while he moves around on the walls. Then at some point, after 3 or 4 throws, these dark eco geysers will start to shoot up, and he'll fly to them. The one he flies to doesn't seem to be random, as I definitely feel like there's a way that the game determines which one to send him to. But unfortunately, there is no way to manipulate which geyser he goes to yet. So it is effectively random for now. Right, one more round of him throwing stuff at us, and then we'll be on to part 2 of the fight, in which we do a proxy to actually skip to the end of the fight. it's kind of weird how it works, but apparently they have a version of Kaiden, or the final boss here, at the just sitting there at the end of the fight. So what we can do is we can hover over here and then get a proxy off of him. Now, after he throws 4 of his lightning electric blasts, he's gonna do a big one, and after that we're gonna double jump and hover onto the left part of his back, and you kind of want to be on like his wing. So flame that, then double jump and hover, and you kind of want to fly onto his wing. And if you do it right, you'll get launched somewhat like this, and into the room with the end of the fight where he's just sitting here. That was a poor launch. A good launch should send you right to the center of that room. So let's see if I can't get a better launch and show that off. No, doesn't look like it. Let's try it again. But yeah, so I almost got it there. He just launched me a bit too far to the left. There we go. That wasn't, as good as one that you're supposed to get, but that was a pretty good one. You generally just want to get one that gets you into the room and makes it so you don't have to hover over the door that leads into that room. So like this is one where I have to hover over the wall and the door. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting the good one. I will give it a couple more tries. But generally the good one is you should be landing right in the center of the room. But as you've seen, if you don't get a good one, a poor one can be saved by hovering. I'm going too far back on him, I'm pretty sure. Also, you need to be holding, when he launches you, you need to hold upright a little bit. And there, that's what should happen roughly. And then that's Daxter all missions. Right, you'll skip the cutscene, the credits, and you'll see this cutscene, and then it will take you into Osmo's shop. It's just because of how we beat the final boss. It does some weird type of stuff. But yeah, that's Daxter all missions. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you running the game soon, maybe.